Hello everyone, this is a new marathon commentary video I'm recording, this time on Ecco Jr, which is a game I've played like for the first time 15 years ago, and it was surprisingly pretty pleasant. If you know, the Ecco franchise is a franchise where you're controlling a dolphin named Ecco, which has some pretty magical abilities, we'll say, and the games are usually known for not only be very good artistically but also extremely difficult and kinda creepy too, with the kinda alienish aesthetic with some inspiration from H.R. Giger, and it's a very popular franchise but also extremely difficult on Genesis. There's also one on Dreamcast and PS2, but this one is very different because it was made for parents to play with their children, so it's very easy to finish. It's not a challenging game at all to finish. You still have the usual movements and stuff, so it's very unique in its gameplay. But the run, it's actually pretty challenging, because you still have to do some tricky movements and stuff, avoiding bonking and lose your speed, etc. So I'm gonna show you first. If you press A plus B plus C on the Genesis controller, I'm playing on emulator by the way, you're opening the parents options, which allows you to change some settings. You can go to any level you want, and there is a difficulty setting here. The only difference is that the higher the difficulty will be, the more levels you will see. There is not like any more difficulty in the previous levels you encountered on lower difficulties, and all the levels are not necessarily harder. I'm gonna play on normal difficulty here because easy is pretty good to get used to this run, but it's way too short for a marathon. And hard, it seems like it's not the best category because some of the levels are not necessarily great. So here is the main menu. You can select one character here. I'm playing as Ecco, as you can see, and on the top right is Kidney, on the top left is Tara. I can do a incentive to which character I'm gonna play. I already have channel points reward for which character I'm gonna play on my channel. So on the left there is a password screen, which is good for practicing. I think on the right it's only the start of the game, but you can also press start to just start the run, and I'm gonna do that right now. In 3, 2, 1 and go! So most of the time I'm gonna press, I don't know which button it is exactly, it's a trigger for me, but I'm gonna boost, so I'm gonna go faster. And the goal most of the time is to use your sonar to find some fishes or break some items or get some treasures or stuff like that. Like here for instance, you have Aqua Maze and you have to destroy every crystal, so with your sonar. There is a specific routing for this one, but you have to be careful because if you're using your sonar wrongly, you're gonna have a little cooldown before trying to break over crystals. And you have to manage the movements of your character, which are pretty unique. You can't do a U-turn if you're moving diagonally, you can only do that when you're moving vertically and horizontally. So that can be a bit tricky to get used to it in the speedrun. It's not a problem casually, of course, but in the speedrun it makes the run more challenging. Here that's another mission where you only have to find some of your friends. I was trying to do a camera flip here. You have seen me done that on the first level. Okay, that's one of them. It's not optimal here, but it can help reducing some lag, and if you're good enough, it can actually makes you move before the animation is done. For the when you get the friend. This level here, there is a seal, and it wants its balls back. So you just have to move the rock, and I'm gonna try to hit it. It requires a precise setup. Great. Just make sure that it went there. You have to go back to the seal anyway, even if you get this trick. Next we have Treasure Cave, which is not a big problem. There will be some potential donation times on levels like that, which are not necessarily too hard. The next one is pretty long anyway, so if there's a donation going on Sea of Music, that's not a bad thing. This is the kind of... that was good. This is the kind of level I usually dislike the most, the one with rings, because it's very tricky, they are usually very long. It's pretty easy to miss the rings like this. You have to do a lot of tricky movements most of the time. Like this is something I usually fail because it's very precise. And at the end, when I'm gonna get all the 5 rings set up, I'm gonna have to go past through every of them in order so I could finish the level, which can sometimes be buggy for a reason I don't know. So I hope it won't be the case. Let's see. Fine. It's rare, but that can happen, sadly. Next level is Ocean Tag. There is 3 tags level in this game, at least in normal difficulty. You have to tag your friend and finish the level before it tags you back. Thankfully this first one is not bad, but you will see that others can be very trolly and can lose you a ton of time. Fish caves. This is the orangey level of this run, because fishes are spawning on a random location. You have to put them in those little caves here, guarded by seahorses. There is one on the right too, and they can be very annoying. The fish can be very annoying with being in an annoying position, moving randomly in not great positions as well, and also getting stuck on rocks, like here for instance. Okay, that went fairly well actually. Ah, forgot that I actually need to go there. I lost some time, but I can tell you it can be way worse than this. Another mechanic on this level, you have to open this egg. There is a turtle in it, and you have to pick it in your mouth, which doesn't always work, sorry, very well. On this one it's fine because the turtle will stay at the surface, but there is another level which is much worse in this regard. So this is Octopus Passage. You first have to find some swordfishes. I tried to do camera flip here, but I wasn't in the right line. This level is very tight. It can be very difficult to navigate in this level. Also, that's big lag, sadly. It's pretty hard sometimes to know how to reduce the lag, because it really depends on every levels, on every glyph at the end of levels. So yeah, that's another tricky part of the run. That was a good Octopus Passage though. That's another tag level here, and this one can be a lot more annoying. Thankfully, I have a setup to not be tagged again. I'm going up a little bit and then going up again before meeting my friend. I like this level actually. Mysterious Ridge is where you have to get some part of a treasure. It's actually a pretty good level to practice your movements. It's not amazing here, but it's not the worst level by far. I had some time save on my PB anyway. Lagoon of Stonefish is not a challenging level as well. Oops. There are some stonefishes hidden in the walls like this, and you have to find them. That can be another part for donations because this level is pretty uneventful. After that, there will be the last tag level of the run. This one can also be very trolly, and I'm a bit afraid of this one. That's a big jump. Oh, I was very lucky. My friend was very close to me. Usually I'm trying to do a jump like this out of the water. It works most of the time, but it was pretty high here, so it was very risky. Here you will see the only out of bounds in the game. But it's very easy to go back in bounds. Thankfully it didn't happen here. There are multiple oysters you can find in this level, and you have to only open the ones which are with a purse. That was very clean. Thankfully I didn't have any troubles going back in bounds. Seahorse Reef is another level where you have to carry a baby animal in your mouth, and this one can be way more trolly. Fourth try, I told you. Sometimes you think you will get it in your mouth and it actually doesn't work. Last real challenging level of the run, Melodic Waters is the longest level by a good margin. That's another ring level on top of that, and I don't like them. Also a potential good time for donations, because this one is very long and I don't have much things to say other than navigating in this level is not great, as you can see. And I have to be careful about the fishes I will see. I'll remember that swordfish is where the rings needs to be. That's gonna be important to remember where you need to go. It was very important for me, at least at the beginning. Wow, I went too high actually, that's rare. The last ring is located very far. After those fishes here. Okay. Oh my god. That's something that can happen sometimes. You are circling around a ring. That's very irritating. I went in the wrong cave because I was complaining. Same thing, you have to do the sequence again, and now you are going at the end of the level. Wasn't really great, sadly. So the last two levels are always the same, whatever the category you're playing on. You have to find your two mammals friends. And then there is a little part of RNG because they have to come with you to the glyph at the end, and sometimes it can take a while. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. Is it supposed to be a PB, by the way? End of the round will be when I'm gonna hit with the sonar the whale when it will be at the surface. End time. That's actually 1 second PB. That's weird. Should retime it anyway, but yeah. So that's the game. For how easy it is casually, it's a surprisingly challenging run. You really need to get used to the controls of the game, which takes a while, and some levels can be tricky with how the mechanics works. But it's a fun run to optimize. It's pretty short. There are a lot of different stuff to do. So yeah, I've not really anything else to say other than shoutouts to the Ecco the Dolphin Discord for being so supportive about my runs. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.